So this is going to be a bit unusual video for me. Mostly I just do videos about games. I do have pretty bad lighting setup in my room and there isn't much room in my room. Even recording this video was an issue for my camera. I bet some of you also have pretty bad lighting setups as well. Actually, I would love to see how your PC setup looks like. Feel free to share it in the comments below. So, last year I was looking for some space-saving lights to brighten up my room, and the only interesting solution that I found was ScreenBar. But it was a bit pricey for me and I wasn't sure if it would be enough for my setup, so I never really did anything about it until recently BenQ contacted me and offered to send a ScreenBar for a review. Needless to say, I was very surprised and happy. Sending product to a small YouTuber who hasn't done any reviews previously is risky on their part, so I do want to thank BenQ, and also because of that I may be slightly biased. However, I did find some issues while using ScreenBar, but not really because of the ScreenBar itself. I'm gonna talk about that in a moment. First, about the features. Attaching it to a monitor is very simple, no screws needed, and it works for curved monitors as well. Just plug into any USB outlet and that's it. There is a pretty heavy clip, so you probably won't be able to use this on your phone or to read a book. The clip has grippy parts, so it won't slide and won't fall off even if you tilt monitor forward. I do that pretty often while watching some movies instead of getting sleep. Bar itself has many smaller lights. They do not really heat up, so no worries there. But that also means you probably won't be able to use it as a Jedi sword or to warm up your hands during winter. There are 4 touchscreen buttons and I'm a bit undecided what do I prefer, normal clicky buttons or touchscreen. I do understand that normal clicky buttons wouldn't work with this so well because it would require a bit more force and you don't want to be pushing ScreenBar to the side while trying to press a button. Maybe in the future there could be a middle ground because sometimes it is hard to tell where exactly the button is and did you press it. Maybe there could be like a bump to imitate a button but still with touchscreen. First button changes light intensity. Second button changes light temperature. Then there is a light sensor on top of the ScreenBar. The third button is auto adjust brightness. And fourth is on off. And when turning it off and on, it does remember your last used setting. One feature I would like to see is indicator bar for brightness and temperature. I would like to be able to tell when does it auto adjust and which settings it uses. It would be interesting to track how brightness changes in my room every day and especially during different seasons. A quick note, and maybe you are having a similar problem with our devices. When I first plugged in ScreenBar, buttons were very unresponsive and sometimes wouldn't even work, but turns out many of my USB outlets on my PC are beginning to break. After plugging it in working USB, everything is working fine and buttons are very responsive. So if some of your devices are a bit glitchy, maybe it's not a device fault but the USB actually. Now, the light is not supposed to illuminate your monitor, but the area below it. At first it was a bit strange having light, but also looking at monitor felt a bit like being in a museum and watching something behind glass. But over a couple of days my eyes got used to it, and now turning it off feels weird and wrong. In fact, with my setup, I have one window to the east and monitor is covering most of the light falling towards my keyboard. So the ScreenBar creates a very cozy and pleasant atmosphere, especially during darker days or near evening. It feels almost like sitting next to a fireplace in a small room. It's almost magical and I love this atmosphere so much. There's just one issue. Some of the keys on the keyboard have glare, or maybe I should say gloss. It's not as noticeable when I turn on my main room light. And my camera picks up way more gloss for some reason, so it isn't as bad as it looks in the video. It's usually like 3-5 buttons, between U and O and J to L. It gets better if I move my keyboard closer to the monitor, but that isn't comfortable, and my keyboard isn't really glossy and it has LED. In fact, it is easier to see keys without extra light. This may not be an issue if you have a white keyboard without LED, but if you have some glossy keyboard you may have some issues. It really depends on the angle at which light bounces off the keyboard. So, my final thoughts. I'm really surprised how could I live without enough light. It just feels so weird when I turn it off now. It just, no, give me back my light. You may have a better lighting setup, but if you feel like you need extra light, you don't have much space and the price isn't too high for you, I think it's definitely worth it. By the way, you should still use Windows Night Mode or other softwares to automatically adjust monitor's light temperature. You don't want that white light burning your eyes at night. If you're interested in this screen bar, I will leave non-affiliate link to Amazon store in the description for you to check all its features in detail. Like I said, I'm not used to doing review videos, so leave a comment below what I could improve, and in general just share your thoughts about this product. Thank you again BenQ for sending ScreenBar. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.